In this video, we're going to begin to look at adding integers. While this topic doesn't appear in our book, I think it's a worthwhile topic, and I think that it'll provide a little bit of challenge, but also a little bit of practical sense of where are integers used in everyday life. Okay. When we talk about adding two integers, or basically adding two numbers together, we're going to have three ways of thinking about it that we're going to explore in this video. The first way is using a number line. The second way is to think about using money. And the third way is to use colored tokens, just as a physical way of showing us what the answer is. So when we begin to use a number line, and this is our first method, we're going to take the example of -2 plus 5, and we want to know what's that equal to. So just like 2 plus 5 equals 7, -2 plus 5 will also have a solution, will also have an answer. So our first step will be to take the -2, or to mark, I guess, or start at the first value. So the first value on the number line. So in this case, we're going to start at -2. We're going to mark that on the number line. In a sense, this becomes our new, zero, okay, our center point. So we're going to start at -2. The second step will be to go the number of spaces indicated by the second number. So in this case, if I am adding 5, it's going to tell me to go to the right 5, because in adding 5 or having a positive 5, it's really telling me to go to the right. Or if I have a negative value or opposite value, it's really going to tell me to go to the left. So in this case, if I start at -2, I'm going to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces, which gives me then an answer of +3. So I can say that -2 plus 5 is equal to 3. Now let's go ahead and clear off our number line. Let's give us a second problem. Okay. So let's suppose our second problem tells us that I want to have 6 plus a -8, and I want to know what that's equal to. So following my steps, I'm going to mark the first value on the number line. So in this case, I always start at the 6, the first value. Okay. But then I have a -8 that I'm adding to it. So since I have in my key that negative sign means to go to the left, I'm going to go to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. And then I look and see which value I'm at, and I get that that's going to equal -2. Another way to think about these problems is in terms of money. Anytime I have a negative amount of money, means basically I owe somebody some money. It's money I don't have, or money that I owe somebody else. Anytime I have a positive amount, it's money that I have, or money that comes to me. So in the case of -2 plus 5, it's like I owe somebody $2 because it's -2, but then I get $5 in. Well, when I think about this, what would I do with this $5? Wouldn't I give $2 to the person I owe the money to, as long as I was honest? And then that would leave me with $3 that I would be able to have in my pocket. Okay. Let's suppose, on the other hand, using our second example from the last page, that I start off with $6. Okay, this is money I have. Okay, I have $6. But then let's suppose I pay out $8. Okay, or I try to give $8 to somebody else. Well, besides the fact that I don't have $8, I only have $6. If this were the case, I would end up having to borrow $2 off of somebody else, which means I would then owe them $2. For some reason, this whole concept of money provides a tangible way for us to think about integers because we're used to, in a sense, having the money or owing the person the money. So it provides kind of a context for this whole idea of integers to make sense. So this is another way of thinking about integers when we go to add them. The third and final way of thinking about it, besides just memorizing rules, which hopefully we'll get to in a later point, is by using this whole idea of colored tokens. What we've got to remember, or got to have a sense of, as we begin to work with these videos, or work with these tokens, okay, what we've got to remember is if I have one positive number, so in a sense I have $1, but then if I pay out $1, so one of each color basically will equal 0. Okay, if I have $1, pay out $1, I'm back at 0. Okay, so by modeling this, if I make myself up a key, and it doesn't really matter which color equals what, but it's good to have a sense of which represents a positive value, which represents a negative value. If I have -2, it's like I've got 2 red colored tokens, and this means that it's -2. To that, I'm going to add 5 positive tokens, so I'm going to add 5 green tokens. Okay. So in this case, these 2 tokens will cancel each other out. Okay, we'll kind of bring it back to even. These 2 tokens, one of each color, will cancel each other out. So I can see by this visual picture that I am left then with 3 positive tokens for my answer. Okay. Since this topic is not in the book, I am going to now provide you with about 5 sample problems I would like you to try. Okay, I would like you to try using 1 with the number line. I would like you to try using 1 with the concept of money, or thinking about using the concept of money, and I would like you to do 1 with colored tokens. It's your choice of which colors, okay? So out of these 5 problems, I would like you to solve 1 each way, and then the 2 remaining problems you can solve whichever way you want. So it's your choice of which method you would like to use for which problem, but I do want to see at least 1 problem done each method, okay, to give you a chance to try it tonight. So the 5 problems I'd like you to try. I would like to know what -3 plus 4 is. I would like to know what -1 plus a -3 is. I would like to know what 2 plus a -9 is. I would like to know what 2 plus 1 is, and hopefully you will know that, but once again, think about it in terms of the concepts that we covered. Okay, and the 5th and final question is to do let's do -2 plus, I'm sorry, let's go ahead and change that. Let's do -7 plus 3. And find an answer to that. So those are your 5 questions for tonight for homework.